Oh no, I'm live and I'm not ready. Well, nobody's looking anyways. It's just for my edification. Yeah, okay. How do I get you out of the shot? Well, how much that far away though? I don't need a keyboard in the shot. Let's put you there. Nowhere to put you, huh? What if I put you there? Nope. Hey! There's two people. It's me, Tio in the flesh. Sorry, I'm getting set up. Can you hear me? One person. I've lost one person already. All right. I'm Tio in the flesh, and I'm going to build a PC. Hopefully. Let me give you some background. Go Ravens. So I bought all these parts for a PC, and I put the chip in, had it up and running, and then I decided to flip the fan, and my smart self didn't exactly do it properly. So when I flipped the fan, I actually pulled the chip, the CPU out, and I have it right here. I pulled the whole CPU out at one shot, and it bent quite a few pins. So as you can imagine, Ryzen didn't want anything to do with that. So I'm out of luck on that one. It was a very expensive mistake to make. Hopefully I've learned my lesson. We're going to see live and in color, and I'm sure if one of my buddies joins, he'll be very happy to let me know when I've made a mistake. So I have everything here. What I'm going to be using is a Ryzen 7 as my CPU. I think that it looks backwards to me, but maybe it's not backwards to you. And then also, just like the thumbnail, I'm going to use a Tough Gaming B550. So this is already out of the box somewhere. I've hidden it from myself so I won't make any more mistakes. What I did do though is when I put this together, come to find out, even the motherboard was broken because the motherboard's monitor wouldn't work, or the HDMI for the monitor wouldn't work. So I had to have that sent back, and then Newegg actually sent me out a new motherboard. So what I'll do is, after this live stream, I'll actually put a link to everything that I purchased in the description below, so that if anyone's interested, or if they want to see exact details of what I bought and used, then they're more than welcome to see that. All right. So this is the 550. There it is, and it's not the same one. It doesn't look like the same one, because there were definitely fingerprints on that other one. All right. So in this box, I get a few little items here and there. This is the plate that goes on the back of the computer itself, or on the box itself. And I guess this is for my any extra drives I want to put on there. This is the important thing to pull out of here, is the instruction book. I'm going to follow that to the T. And of course, to make my computer run faster, I've got stickers. It's going to go so fast now, like a car. Yeah, I'm going to leave that in there. All right, I need you. Yeah, I'll need you. All right. Let's get this motherboard out, and we'll start putting things together on it. If for some reason one of the two people that's following me is not already subscribed, by all means subscribe. You'll make number 20 or 19. It's hard to keep up. They're going so quickly these days. All right, so here is my motherboard. It's very pretty. Let's see what we got on the back. Okay, good. That's where the processor goes. All right. So before I go much further, I do have my processor. My CPU is right here. I was joking. I knew exactly where it was the whole time. I'm keeping it very, very safe, because the last thing I need to do is bend the pins on the new one. So it's kind of out of the way. Remember, the important thing to remember on processors when you're placing them in is that on the motherboard itself, when you've got the and you got the deck here, you do have an arrow pointing to which direction the processor needs to go. So I'm going to make sure I do that correctly, because the last thing I need to do is screw that up. So anyways, I did say that I pulled the other one off the other motherboard because this was actually broken. And I did have paste on there. And you can kind of see here where the paste was, but I have cleaned it with alcohol and scraped almost all of it off. If not all of it, it looks pretty clear. So you need to clear that with alcohol, otherwise you won't get a good seat for your processor, and it won't draw the heat out as well. All right, so here is my chip. Can you see that? This must have come from someplace that has COVID. Anyways, hang on. We gotta get some water. Throwing my pinky up, man, my pink cup fancy all of a sudden. But you'll notice the processor has that little green arrow. I'm sorry, gold arrow. And that's what goes on the arrow on this thing. All right, so the important thing to remember here is there is an arm. You got to pull the arm up so you're opening it. If you don't pull the arm up, I don't know if you can see it moving, but it does move a little bit. So if you don't pull the arm up, you're not actually going to seat it in. You could actually bend pins. I'm not trying to bend these pins. I've had too much of that going on in my life. So if I just sit it in there, it should sit all the way in, and it did. It sat right in, real nice, real slick like. And then listen. This hurts your heart to listen to, but listen. Oh, no, it didn't hurt my heart. And that's locked into place. So, because the Ryzen comes in a box and there's already paste on it, there's heatsink paste on here. So you don't actually have to use anything extra because it does come with a dab on there. And this is a unit that I had to pull off the other one. I actually had to go out and purchase heatsink. And this is Arctic Silver thermal paste, not heatsink, thermal paste. That's the heatsink. I had to purchase thermal paste myself. So everything I've learned about thermal paste is you don't need a ton of it. And I haven't put thermal paste on anything in a very long time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze the dab out to see what it looks like. Ooh, that looks fun. Okay. All right, so it shouldn't be much. I don't need much. And if I put it in the center, it should spread out nicely. I think that ought to do. I don't need tons. That actually might be too much. I might have put too much on there. I'll flip that up so you can see it. Hopefully it won't drain down. I think that's enough. Okay, so the mistake I made last time was, you see how AMD has their logo up here? I had it upside down. Smart me wanted to turn it right side up, and I did that, and I pulled the CPU out. So this time I'm going to make sure this is seated upright. And it does have locks to lock it into place. So here we go. And I can be forceful if I want. That's totally fine. In this case, I can be forceful. All right, but I'm not going to, because I'm just a tidbit paranoid at this point. If I'm being honest, that was a very expensive mistake to make, and I don't want to make it again. And I need to stop saying if I'm being honest, because at no point am I being dishonest to anyone watching the live stream. Unless I'm being dishonest to myself. Get in there. Now you stop being that way. Get over there. Come on. This is the hardest part. I don't care what anyone says. There we go. All right, so we're in. And it does also have a lever. When I pull this lever, and it makes another heartbreaking sound. There we go. Or at least it sounds like a heartbreaking sound. Whew. Okay, that bad boy is on. I can't see if heatsink paste went anywhere. It doesn't look like it did. So I'm probably okay. All right. Good to go. Now, I'm going to go ahead and place the rest of my items on here as I get them, or as I get to them. That way we can have everything in place before I actually put it into the hard drive. Oh, of course I'm doing it wrong. Flash black. If I were doing it right, would it even be entertaining? There's another guy that jumps on every now and again called DeModel, and I'm honestly surprised he's not on. He would be more than happy to tell me when I'm doing something wrong. Matter of fact, he might even try to talk me into doing something wrong. Oh, is that the problem? I didn't bend the pins properly. I think they do need to be at a 90-degree angle. Let me get that. Let me get my screwdriver out. All right. Sorry. I pulled it out and threw it away before I even showed you what it was. I grabbed this. These are going to be my brand new RAM. It's a Trident Z RGB. It's 16 gigs between the two of them, so it's 8 gigs each. RGB stands for red, green, and blue. In case you didn't know. Anyways, so the deal with these these motherboards now is that you have two sets of RAM slots. Some are in this particular board. You have black and you have gray. So if you're going to put RAM on, you need to put it on either. You know what? You got a great question there, Flash Black. I don't have a grounding strap. So if this thing works at all, I'll be surprised. In light of grounding strap, I will just go ahead and only use one hand. How about that? That won't be difficult at all. JK. All right. And I'm not grounded. I don't have a grounding pad under my feet either. So if you ever wanted to learn what not to do, watch this video. Get in there. All right, one in. And then my other black one. I remember years ago when I first started putting computers together, when you had multiple RAM slots, it was always the two that were together. Well, there we go. The two RAM slots beside each other were the ones that you're supposed to put in together, not alternating. That's new to me. It's how long it's been since I put anything in. So there you go. There's my new RAM. So far, so good. Chris Black, am I doing everything else wrong? I mean, Black Diamond. I mean, Flash Black. I'll get it right eventually. I did eventually find a bag full of screws and the sorts so I can actually... No, that is not the Pentium 2 processor. I wish. I ended up getting the Microsoft what's the other one? Celeron. I got the Microsoft Celeron from 1998. I'm not even sure they were around then. All right. So that's not going to help me at all right there. I need a small bridge. Is that a small bridge? I thought I had one in here. I do not. What do I have in here? I just have that. Do I have a small bridge here? Oh, you know what I'm missing? I'm missing a smaller screwdriver. All right, Flash Black, go ahead and entertain the crowd. I got to go get my small screwdrivers. It's just Chris Black. You know what, Black? I think you're not just the... There's one other person. I don't know who it is, though. They're not saying anything. They're also not following, if that's the case. So, were you able to entertain the crowd? That's funny. Let's see. I'm missing one thing here. I'm missing a bridge. I need another bridge right there. That might be it right there. All right, let's see. Hang on. Oh, here it is. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm after. All right. So for my next trick, this is going to get me great ratings on YouTube, by the way. For my next trick, I'm going to install my solid state drive. Now, I don't have the box for this. I'll throw it away. That's my bad. Mr. Black, The Crowd. That's your new gaming tag, The Crowd. But it is a crucial 1 terabyte SATA single or solid state drive. There's one slot on here for this that I can tell. Maybe there's a second one. I think it's under here. It's kind of protected under there though, so I'm not going to put it under there, although I could. What's stopping me? I don't know what's stopping me. Although I could move this to here. Interesting. All right, so anyways, I'm going to slide it into right there. Concerns before I... No? Okay. So I'm slide that baby in there, kind of at an angle. Actually, before I do that, let me put this on here because I don't want to bend it too far. Oops. See, this is how you do it when you don't have your grounding strap. You only use one hand. Hopefully I don't have any static cling. There we go. I will tell you that when I was in the Air Force years and years ago, there was a guy who refused to use one hand and didn't put on his grounding strap and fried a motherboard. I don't think the Air Force made him pay for it though, because he was still learning. But the other part of that was he actually had power to the board. So that was really on him. They should have made him pay for it. All right, there we go. The RCB, and of course I could take this off if I wanted to and put it here. I think that's about the right size. Yeah, I could put it there if I wanted to. And that would open up another slot for me if I'm filling it. All right, I think that's everything that needs to go on right now. For the record, I do have, well, you might have shared it on Facebook, but it's just you and me right now. I need a PR department. So anyways, I have this. That's my 5700 XT. This is going to be my graphics card eventually. Fill that slot. Okay. I feel like that's inappropriate. This is PG-13. Anyway. And look. They gave me these twist ties to put my hair up in case it falls. I'll put it on my beard. Lou Albano. It's a new version. It's a twist tie instead of a rubber band. Okay. All right. Now for the fun part. More water. Which, by the way, I'm not putting on my desk because the last thing I need to do is spill it all over this. I'm trying to avoid problems. All right. I think I may put this on anyway. No, let me hold off because I need to have the computer together. I mean, the board. So I also have this, which I think I talked about in my very first video. This is my keyboard and mouse. It's really pretty. All right. Here's the box. This is my box. That's all going to go in. And it's got tempered glass, tapped on glass. Pull it out. And this is going to be the part where you can't see what's going on inside the box because I only have a single string. So you're going to have to take my word for it. I guess you don't have to. I can just put the motherboard in. Now you can't see me at all. Let me, I know what I need to do. Stand by. It's it's all falling apart. The microphone fell. It's cool. This is all part of the design. Okay. Saw how it's supposed to be. It's how I meant for it to happen. In case anyone's curious. Okay. Mic check, we're back. All right. This is like the most dynamic television that's ever been televisioned. Okie dokie. Oh, that was smart of me. I left my screws inside of the case. So I got to take my screws out of my tower. Anyway. So, what would be a great story to tell while y'all wait for me to doing something that I should have done before the actual stream started? I got nothing. I will tell you one time when I was a kid, and I was learning all about computers. This is back in the day. I was going to format a disk, and this was back in the day when you had to do it manually, and you had to type in C:/ / or whatever drive it was in. In this case, it would have been in the D drive because that's where my floppy drive was. Format, right? And it formats the disk, and then it prepares the disk for whatever you want to put on it next. Well, me and my infinite wisdom, and this is my dad's computer, not my computer, I accidentally stayed on the C drive and typed in C:/ format. And it did just that. It formatted my dad's computer. My dad was a preacher. And so we didn't have buckets of money flowing in. And my dad loved himself a computer. So all I did was end up wiping out my dad's computer. But there was a way out. You could unformat back in the day. I don't even know if you can unformat now, but you could unformat. And if you unformatted, it actually made you fill in letters for every file that it unformatted. And you don't realize how many files a computer has until you have to fill in one letter for each file and unformat the entire thing. Holy cow. That took me hours. And I thought for sure my dad was going to show up and he was going to see what I had done, and it was curtains. But I ended up getting it done and he didn't even realize it. It was back in the wilden days. Wilden days. All right. So before I put my motherboard in, the case did come, or the motherboard came with this. And this goes on the back of the case. It kind of is a plate, really, for your ports. So this is the plate, and I'm going to put it on the back, and hopefully I put it in the right direction. Yep, that's it. There we go. Let me show you. Let me set it up so you can see what I'm doing. The plate. The slot. I've never tried to put anything in like in this angle, so we'll see what happens. Oops. What's it hooked on right there? Okay, it's not. Uh-oh. I hate when it makes extra crunch sounds. Oh, there we go. Like a glove. Well, don't hit it that direction. Like a glove. Interstate 76. Boy, let me tell you. The only problem playing Interstate 76 online was if you had that old What was the slowest? We had a 28.8. Oh, before that it was a 12. We had a 12.2, and you just could not play it online with a 12.2. That was the world's slowest. What do you call that thing? The world's slowest. What's it called, man? Let me put this in here. 12. My dad eventually did get a 28.8, so we were a little faster than the 57, and then eventually we got dial-up. It took us a while to get the dial-up. Matter of fact, I think I was out of the house by the time we got dial-up. I can't remember what I had when I got out of the house. I can't remember if I had dial-up when I got out of the house. What is going on here, people? Alright, trying to plug my... Okay, all the cables are on top. That's good news. Now, I gotta get... Can you get out of the way? Can you get out of the way? There we go. That's there. That's there. We're good. We're good. Okay. Now comes the fun part. Screwing her back in. Screwing it back in. I don't want to identify its gender. Isn't that right, PC? Why do boats always... Why are they always females? I'm sure there's a reason for that. Some kind of nautical belief system. All right, so far so good. Nothing has electrocuted me or it. And I don't know why it would. I had a friend who was a pretty big Napster downloader. And I never got into it because it was super full of viruses. Like, you never knew when you were going to download a virus on Napster. So I never actually got into Napster. Probably smart on my part. I'd already formatted my dad's computer by accident one time. Last thing I needed to do was get a virus that neither one of us could get off. We bought our second computer at Radio Shack. And this computer was, the day we got it off the floor, it was outmoded. Because I tried to play a CD in it, because it had a CD player, and it wouldn't play the CD. So when I took it, or Dad actually took it because I was too young. Dad took it to the place he bought it in the mall in Shelby at Radio Shack. The guy said, yeah, it doesn't have enough RAM. And we're like, what do you mean? He said it needs two megs of RAM. 2 freaking megs of RAM. We had a single meg of RAM in that computer. One chip. A single. So we had to buy a second meg of RAM. And it cost $100 for 1 megabyte of RAM. So Dad bought a second megabyte of RAM, and we placed it in that computer so that we could actually use the CD-ROM. Can you believe that? They sold us a computer where you couldn't even use the CD-ROM. Oh, son of a gun. I dropped a screw down in there. I can't see where it went. This is the fun part. There you are. Can't reach it with my fingers. They're too large. Could use some tweezers right about now. Round 2. Let's see if this will work. Too little. We got a big one in here. But back in those days was the Wild West of computing. They could sell you one and not even realize what they're selling you won't even work. But they did, the salesman didn't have a clue either. He worked at Radio Shack. All he knew was that he was selling computers. Now you have 16-year-olds. Shoot, younger than that. That will teach you everything you need to know about computers. Which I could use somebody knows what they're doing at the house right now. Okay, screw. If you don't go in this time, we're just gonna wing it and hope for the best. I can't even see. Why would they put it so? Okay, there we go. I mean, of all places. All right. Okay, done. All right. It only took half an hour. So now comes the fun part. Plugging everything in. I have a light right there, but I think I might get in the way. So now I just got to get my instruction book out and plug everything in. And this is where the fun begins. So I will lay this back down, but I do have two power cables. I want to show you this real fast. I got two power cables. These do have to be plugged in order to be useful. Otherwise, if you don't plug them in, and it even says here CPU right there, and then I think it says CPU on this one as well. If you don't plug them in, your motherboard's not getting any kind of power. SATA drive, I think that's SATA drive, and these are going to be my buttons up top up here. I got a PCI slot that I need to plug in. What else? And this is actually two different pieces together, and this is going to be what I use for my motherboard, or for my video card, which I'll do later. And this is going to be for my fan here, and this is for my fan here. This thing has a lot of fans. It has more fans than I do. I've got 2 viewers, and I think one of those is me. The other one's you. Flash Black. Flash Prince of Black. That's not right. All right, anyways, let me lay this down so I can actually plug this stuff in and then regale you with another great story of my childhood. Okay. Let's plug. Where does this go? You know what? I'm not even going to play with you right now. We're going to do this the smart way because I don't want to screw this up. You are loyal to a supporter. And if I get big, Black, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pay you. That's how much of a loyal supporter you are to me. I'm going to pay you for just existing. That's all the other people missing out. They could have been loyal supporters. It's a shame. Wish I could see what I was looking at. I got a light. Why is it not? Let me see. There we go. Is that too bright? Still just 2 viewers. One being myself. All right. So anyways. Alrighty. I just got to make sure I plug this thing in the right spot. I want to plug it into the round spot. CPU fan number 4. Getting in my own way. That light is not very good placement. Is that in there? All right, CPU fan is in. Fantastic. All right, let's go ahead and plug this power box in. Look at a big old box. Go in, fella. Okay, so far so in. Is that in? No, not quite. Whoa, calm down. Is that in? All right, that's in. I don't know why I have to keep asking the question. It's in, by gosh. All right, you, sir, are going to be a pain. You're missing a pin there, so you must be there. Yep. Okay. You got a notch there, so you go there. Yes. I don't need my instruction book all the time because I do remember some of these things. With the exception of these two. Because I know one goes top and one goes bottom. I just don't remember. Power SW. Let's look at it. Number 17. Item number 17. Item number 17. Oh, there it is. Power boom. Okay. All right. So positive, negative. Positive, negative. Which one goes which? Positive, negatives. I got these backwards. Just like that. Okay. I wonder if I should do the other ones first. We'll find out in a second, won't we? Reset switch. HD LED. LED. Reset switch. Okay, so the reset switch is on the inside. All right, so far so good. And by that I mean I haven't even powered it up, so I don't really know if that's true. The best that I can tell you is that I am plugging things in. And I think maybe I should have put this one in first. Yeah, dadgummit. Okay. Come on, fingers. Nope. Yep. Okay, you are LED, so let's go in there. Ah! See how much more sense that makes when you do it that direction? I'm talking to myself because y'all can't see which direction I'm doing it. What's another Beirut? Fireworks and explosions everywhere. Because if I tell you what right now, if I plug this in and it doesn't work, there will be fireworks and explosion. And there'll be an ambulance and there'll be a fire department. There'll be all sorts of people called out to the house. This thing better post. That is all I got to say. That's not all I got to say. Okay. By the way, for anyone who actually cares, Ravens are going to be the best team on the planet this season. Go Ravens. Remember that. Said it right here. All right. So everything is plugged in. Let me just make sure. That's plugged in there. That's plugged in there. What do you go to? You are for my... I'll leave you like that. So that's plugged in. That's plugged in. All right. I don't think there's any loose... Oh, one loose. I better not forget that one. Lord have mercy. That'd be bad. That'd be real bad. That is fan headers. Fan, CPU fan, ground fan. Okay. That's where I need to put it. Okay. So it's all plugged. Let me flip it up so you can see what I've done here. And then we'll power it up. After I plug the monitor in and everything, so you can see a little better. Maybe you can't. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to power my power. I got that plugged in. I got my CPU fan for my CPU. These are my LED buttons. There's all my nice little buttons to turn on up here as well. And then I have my fan plugged in right here. So I just have my SATA plugged in, and this is going to be for my graphics card, which I don't have yet plugged in because I'm going to wait till I get this thing up and running. That way I can get my graphics drivers right. I don't want to get my graphics drivers wrong. All right. That's that. Now for the truth. What all two viewers have been waiting for. Me and the most loyal TO follower on the planet. I'm gonna buy you I'm gonna get you a shirt. Let me get you a shirt, black, and it's gonna say "Most Loyal Tio Follower." I want you to wear it with pride. Let me get this out of the way. All right, that's not going to work too well. Let's plug this in here. Okay. There we go. Plug my monitor into the motherboard because I don't have a drive plugged in yet. Now here's the trick. Let's see if my monitor power cable will reach that far. Yeah, that's not happening. Why are you not reaching? I really need you to reach. Yeah, still not going to reach. That's wonderful. Think about that for a minute. I don't have any plugs. Oh, I do, right behind me. Of course, I have one right behind me that's just not quite close enough. All right, here's something they taught us in NOM. Don't break it. Okay. All right. Look at that. The perfect fit. How about that? It's the perfect fit, everyone. Okay, so I still have my dynamic keyboard and mouse. Who put the sticker back on here? I don't know if it's dynamic or not, but it is called Red Dragon. And since we're talking about the olden days on these things called bulletin board services, way back in the day, there was a video game. And I say video very, very loosely because it was not graphic intensive at all. Matter of fact, it had no graphics. It was all keyboard commands, called Legend of the Red Dragon. And you just basically played the game and slaughtered things until you became so powerful that you could kill the Red Dragon. And then when you did, it reset the game for everybody. So it was really everybody was playing to kill the Red Dragon first. The first person to kill the Red Dragon won. And then it just reset itself. So it really wasn't that big a deal. All right, so here's the catch. I have done this multiple times and without fail. Almost every time this doesn't work. So I'm going to try this for the first time live on the YouTubes. Wish me luck, Black. You're the only one here. All right, that's a good sign. But the rest of that is not a good sign. All righty. Looks like there's more investigation to do. Go ahead and turn that off. There's no point in even having it on at this point. Well, thanks for joining me for 44 minutes of useless time because it looks like my computer doesn't want to work after all. What is wrong with you? All right. The Ravens are going to win anyways. Later.